Here's a fun fact. More Americans moved in the last 3 years than during the entire 2010s. And not because they suddenly love packing boxes. Nope. People are escaping rent, taxes, and weather like it's a national sport. The so-called American dream now depends on where you can afford to keep the lights on. And while some states are booming, others are emptying faster than a Waffle House at 2 a.m. when someone yells, "Fight!" So today we're diving into the 10 states Americans are leaving, and the brutally honest reasons why. Stick around because by the end you might start Googling U-Haul prices too. And before we start, smash that like button, subscribe to State of Mind, and tell me in the comments, if you could leave your state tomorrow, where would you go? Massachusetts is what happens when history, intelligence, and high rent have a love child. It's home to Harvard, lobster rolls, and winters that make you question free will. Locals call it masshole country, not as an insult, but as a badge of driving honor. If you can survive the Rotary at Somerville's Powderhouse Square, you can survive anything. Boston apartments are famously cozy, meaning your kitchen is your hallway. And don't even mention parking. Finding a spot in South Boston feels like winning the lottery. Except instead of money, you win frostbite and a $65 ticket. Even small towns like Amherst and Northampton are pricey now. College kids paying $400 a month to live in what's basically an attic with Wi-Fi. People love the education, the sports, the seafood. They just wish they didn't have to sell a kidney to stay. So they're heading south to North Carolina, Florida, or anywhere snow doesn't personally attack you. New Jersey has everything. Beaches, great schools, diners at 3 a.m., and sarcasm as a first language. But it also has the highest property taxes in America. Locals joke the state bird should be the easied pass. You pay a toll to drive to work, to the beach, to pick up your toll invoice. In Bergen County, people spend more on taxes than on their kids' college tuition. And that's saying something. Even retirees are escaping to Pennsylvania and Delaware because their wallets need therapy. Still, Jersey loyalty runs deep. Ask anyone from Newark or Hoboken and they'll say, "Yeah, it's expensive, but it's home." Then they'll honk at you for not merging fast enough. Louisiana is America's heartbeat. Food, jazz, soul, and enough flavor to season the entire country. But it's also one of the hardest places to stay long-term. If you live near Lake Charles, you've probably rebuilt your roof twice. In New Orleans, everyone knows the local joke. We don't check the weather, we check FEMA's budget. The food is incredible, gumbo, etouffee, jambalaya, but the insurance bills are even spicier. And while life in Lafayette or Baton Rouge feels slower and friendlier, the economy's still tied to oil, tourism, and luck. People aren't leaving because they want to. They're leaving because their houses might literally float away next season. Still, no one ever forgets Louisiana. It's not a state, it's a rhythm, and you can't unhear it. Everyone dreams of living in Hawaii until they see the Costco line. It's paradise, yes, but locals know the struggle. 9 milk, 7 gas, and affordable housing. That's just code for still a million. In Oahu, people commute an hour and a half for jobs that barely cover rent. On the Big Island, locals trade fresh air for old plumbing and unreliable Wi-Fi. And it's not tourists making life expensive, it's mainland investors buying homes like Monopoly Squares. Many native Hawaiians are moving to Las Vegas, now nicknamed the Ninth Island. It's cheaper, still sunny, and you can buy spam in bulk without needing a small loan. Hawaii will always be heaven. Just one that's charging an admission fee. Pennsylvania's got a little of everything. Amish markets, Iron City beer, Hershey's chocolate, and traffic that never moves on the Schuylkill Expressway. But outside of Philly and Pittsburgh, jobs are drying up like last year's Pierogi Festival. In towns like Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, or Altoona, the biggest employer might be Walmart. And the second biggest is nostalgia. Locals still talk about when the mills were running and coal paid the bills. Now, many are leaving for warmer states, or just ones where winter doesn't last 8 months. Still, Pennsylvania has something people miss when they go. Tight communities, Friday night football, and diners that serve coffee so strong it could fix your car battery. Michigan's stunning, and you can't deny it. The Great Lakes, small-town summers, and Mackinac Island fudge. But the winters? The kind of cold that makes you question why humans evolved. People joke there are only two seasons here, winter and construction, and they're both awful for your car. Detroit's making a comeback. Sure, coffee shops, art, startups, but the rest of the state's struggling. Flint's still haunted by its water crisis. And in the Upper Peninsula, snow piles higher than your mortgage. Most folks heading out aren't bitter. They just want jobs that don't involve guessing if their driveway is under ice. Many go to Tennessee or Florida, anywhere they can finally thaw out. Oregon used to be a vibe. Mountains, forests, craft beer, freedom. What's not to love? But lately, Portland's become a case study in how to turn paradise into a sociology experiment. Housing's up, rent's up, and for some, patience is down. Ask locals and they'll tell you, we still love the rain. We just wish it didn't come with a $2,000 rent bill. Drive out to Bend, Eugene, or Medford, and you'll see the divide. Tech transplants with Teslas, locals trying to afford groceries. Many are moving east, Idaho, Montana, Utah, where there's space, mountains, and fewer slogans about keep Portland weird. Illinois, home of deep dish pizza, Abraham Lincoln, and an annual game called Where Did My Tax Money Go? Chicago's incredible, and skyline, food, music, but the rest of the state often feels forgotten. Small towns like Rockford or Decatur are losing people faster than the Bears lose playoff games. Property taxes can hit 2.3%, among the highest in the country. So many are fleeing to Indiana and Wisconsin, where the pizza's worse, but the prices make sense. Still, no one talks smack about Chicago. It's one of the few cities people complain about while secretly wishing they still lived there. Leaving Illinois feels like breaking up with someone you still love. You just can't handle their financial baggage anymore. New York is intoxicating. Skyline views, Broadway lights, pizza at 2 a.m. But after 2020, the hangover hit hard. People realized they could work remotely from anywhere. So why pay $3,000 for a closet in Queens when you can own a 4-bedroom in North Carolina? Locals joke that moving out of New York is like leaving an ex. You'll talk trash, but secretly miss them every day. Even upstate New York, once a quiet escape, is losing people thanks to brutal winters and property taxes that feel like punishment for owning anything. Still, nobody truly leaves New York. They just move physically. Mentally, they're still catching the subway. California. The beaches, the sunshine, the avocado toast economy. It's still the land of opportunity, if you can afford rent higher than your will to live. In San Francisco, a 1-bedroom can hit $4,000 a month. And yes, it probably has no parking. Locals in LA joke their city has 3 seasons: fire, flood, and gridlock. Insurance companies are ghosting the state faster than exes on Valentine's Day. Still, everyone who leaves says the same thing. I didn't move because I hated California. I moved because I love eating. Most head to Texas, Nevada, or Arizona, where you can get a backyard and still afford gas. California hasn't lost its magic. It's just charging admission like Disneyland. So there you have it. 10 states Americans are leaving. Not out of anger, but out of survival instinct. It's not the end of the American dream. It's just moving to a cheaper zip code. So tell me, would you trade city lights for peace and space? Or stick it out where you are, paying for the vibe? Drop your answer below, hit like, subscribe, and get ready for next week's episode. The 10 states people are moving to, and why they might regret it. Because remember, it's not just geography. It's a state of mind.